So recently, some leaks regarding Transformers Rise of the Beasts appeared on the internet, and I'm going to take a look at them because they seem very intriguing to me. These leaks all came from someone named Source, whom I'll be referring to throughout this video. So Source was among those who attended a test screening for the film recently, and I'm saying this now as the film is likely incomplete with some temporary VFX in place. But let's get into it. So starting off, there are no Predacons or Decepticons in the movie as far as Source knows, and there's no military involvement in the film, which is kind of a good thing I guess, because that was one of the main criticisms of the Bay films. Moving on, none of the Transformers are going to speak while they're in vehicle mode, although Source hasn't said anything on whether the Maximals will speak in their alt modes. So let's move on. The VFX throughout the film was somewhat unfinished, so Source was unable to tell whether or not Prime's mask ever pulled back to show a mouth. Similar to the Bayverse design, and speaking of Optimus, he starts off in this movie being very distrustful of humans, but his arc over the course of the movie will be him learning to care for and protect them. Bumblebee, of course, is present in the film and, according to Source, is very underutilised, but that's his current opinion. Mirage, voiced by SNL alum Pete Davidson, is the human friend of the movie and is the first of the Transformers lineup to meet Anthony Ramos' character Noah, and Source went on to say that the dynamic is reminiscent of Sam and Bee from the Bay films and the Stolen Car Chase, for example. There's also an implied past relationship between RC and Wheeljack, plus there are some sexual jokes in the movie which, according to Source, were very weird and random. It's also unclear whether Wheeljack will be keeping his Bumblebee movie head design, but according to Source will have a head similar to the character of Q from Dark of the Moon, which is the Bayverse variant of Wheeljack, I think. Mirage gives Noah a Transformers suit and a gauntlet gun. The action, according to Source, is great, but gets a bit messy, which sounds concerning as the Bay films had some messy action sequences. So moving on, Cheetor, a member of the Maximals group, will attack the Autobots, and he's quite defensive, but Optimus Primal, voiced by Ron Perlman, will step in to clear the air and establish things. Source also went on to state that Primal is cool as hell, apparently. Another member of the Maximals, Air Razor, is attacked by the Terracons and turns evil. And now, moving on to some of the more exciting details of this film. So apparently there's going to be 4 main villains in this film, with these being the 3 main Terracons and Unicron apparently, which is interesting to me, which could prove my theory that Scourge has been working for Unicron in this movie entirely. But moving on. Rhinox is alright, according to Source as well, and he also goes on to state that Optimus, and I quote, kinda sucks in this because he gets his ass handed to him by the Terracons, which is a good thing because that means the villains are going to be amazing if they can whoop Optimus Prime's ass. Anyway, the heroes also go to Peru/Machu Picchu via the cargo plane transformer to look for part of a key of some kind. Now, during what I can only assume will be the film's conclusion, Scourge activates a beam in the sky, which more enemies come out of. This could be when Megatron shows up, but Decepticons apparently aren't in this movie, so moving on. But the Autobots and the Maximals team up to defeat them all. At the conclusion of the film, Optimus is blown up into space, and Source did also mention here, there is a mid-credit scene of Optimus floating through space where he meets Unicron, whose face takes up the whole screen. And in case you don't remember, Unicron is gigantic. So my thoughts on this are somewhat mixed. It's largely positive because of the character stuff, but I have some concerns, namely the action, as the Bay films have a lot of messy fight scenes and I don't want it to fall into the category of fight scenes turning into jagged pieces of metal rolling over each other, because that's what people describe the Bay films fight scenes as. But I do have faith in this movie because it's not connected to the Bay films that came before them. It's following an entirely new continuity established by Bumblebee, which I'm really happy about. Sure, the Bay films have some good moments, but a lot of people don't look on them with particular fondness. But overall, I'm still really looking forward to seeing this movie when it comes out in June, and I hope a lot of you guys will feel the same. But that brings this video to a close, so don't forget to like and subscribe, check out my podcast The Movie Geeks with my friend Tay, and I'll see you all soon.